There was once a town that measured everything by time. Every morning, the bells rang at exactly 6. Shops opened at 8. Children walked to school at 9. Nothing was late. Nothing was early. Time ruled everything. And in the center of that town stood a tower clock, a masterpiece of engineering. It's precise to the second. It was built by a man named Edwin Hallberg, but near the end of his life. Edwin built one final clock. This clock had no numbers, no calendar, no visible purpose. It was counting down. When it stopped, something changed. Edwin Hallberg was different from other children. He once told his mother that he could hear seconds passing, not like normal ticking. He described it as whispers, soft and constant. Tick, tick, tick. Even in silence. As he grew older, he became obsessed with gears, springs, and pendulums. By the age of 25, he was already known as the finest clockmaker in the region. His greatest achievement was the Great Tower Clock in Alderwick. It was inspired by mechanisms like the famous Prague astronomical clock, a clock so detailed it tracks celestial movements. But Edwin's clock was even more precise. People admired him, respected him, trusted him. But as the years passed, something changed. He began studying the sky more than the town. He spent nights on his roof staring at the stars. He wrote strange calculations. He stopped repairing ordinary watches. When asked why, he would say, "Clocks do not measure time, they measure distance." Distance from what? He never explained. At 67 years old. Edwin locked his workshop. He refused visitors. He stopped attending church. But from inside the building, people heard construction, metal grinding, heavy gears turning, deep mechanical humming. Months passed. Then one day the doors opened. Inside stood the largest clock he had ever built. It was taller than 2 men. It had no numbers, just a single brass needle. And beneath it, carved into the metal, were the words, "Final Alignment." The needle was moving very slowly. Someone asked him, "What does it measure?" He replied calmly, "It measures what remains." The town laughed. They assumed he had grown eccentric, but the needle kept moving. Chapter 3. The disturbance, 20 o'clock to 30 minutes and 0 seconds. Soon, strange things began happening. Watches stopped working near his shop. Pocket watches lost minutes. Pendulum clocks swung unevenly. Dogs barked at night. Some residents claimed they felt vibrations under their homes, low and steady, like a heartbeat beneath the ground. Traveling astronomer heard rumors and came to visit. After studying Edwin's clock for hours, the astronomer became pale. He asked Edwin quietly, "You synchronized this, didn't you?" Edwin nodded. The astronomer looked toward the sky and said nothing more. Years later, his private journals mentioned Edwin's work alongside ancient structures like the Great Pyramid of Giza, monuments aligned with celestial cycles. One line stood out in the journal. He is not measuring days. He is measuring a return. Chapter 4. The letters 30 minutes and 0 seconds to 40 minutes and 0 seconds. 7 years passed. Then, one winter morning, letters appeared at every doorstep. Each letter had only one sentence. Prepare. No explanation, no details. Fear began spreading. Some believed it predicted war. Others feared a comet or plague. A few families left town entirely, but most stayed. Edwin grew weaker each day. He rarely spoke. He only watched the needle. 3 weeks before his death, he posted a message on the church door. "When the clock stops, do not look at the sky." The message terrified the town. Why the sky? What would be there? Chapter 5. The final night, 40 minutes and 0 seconds to 48 minutes and 0 seconds on the final night of his life. Edwin gathered the remaining townspeople. His voice was thin. His hands trembled. He said, "Time does not end. It shifts." He explained that every few centuries, the Earth passes through a subtle cosmic alignment, a gravitational fluctuation, invisible but powerful. He believed these alignments caused small changes in reality. Tiny alterations, moments where history bends slightly. He believed past disappearances like the lost colony of Roanoke occurred during stronger alignments. He believed humanity had survived many shifts before, But this one, he feared, would be different. At midnight, Edwin Halberg died. The clock continued ticking. Chapter 6. When the needle stopped, 48 minutes and 0 seconds to 55 minutes and 0 seconds 3 days later. The needle reached its final mark and stopped. Nothing happened at first. No explosion, no tremor, just silence. Then the wind stopped. Birds froze in midair. Shadows stopped moving. For 47 seconds, everything was still. People felt it. A pressure, a weight in the air. Some ignored Edwin's warning. They looked at the sky. They later claimed the stars were wrong, not gone, just slightly different. Then everything resumed, as if nothing had happened. Chapter 7. The discovery 55 minutes and 0 seconds to 58 minutes and 0 seconds months later, the workshop was dismantled. Under the floorboards, workers found a hidden chamber. Inside were hundreds of star charts, each marked with dates, separated by exactly 413 years. At the center of the final chart, Edwin had written one word: shift. Modern researchers later compared those dates to unexplained historical events. Civilizations that vanished. Records that didn't match. Moments history could not explain. The pattern was unsettling. Ending the return of the ticking why. The great tower clock still stands in Alderwick. Edwin's countdown clock was dismantled, its pieces scattered. But every so often, in the quiet hours before dawn, some residents claim they hear it. Faint ticking, soft, steady. Some believe it is imagination. Others believe the cycle has begun again. Because if Edwin was correct, another alignment will come. And somewhere in the world, another clockmaker is already listening to the seconds. Tick, tick, tick.